Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose's back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. Word is bond, love is love. Like, comment, subscribe, but do all the above. And if you ain't doing anything today, follow my Instagram. Ruger Rose 23 is the place to be. All right. So, Drake. So on Friday, Drake released his 7th studio album called Honestly Nevermind. It wasn't highly anticipated. It wasn't long awaited because, quite frankly, we didn't know anything about an album until 7 hours prior to it via Instagram and Twitter, thanks to Mr. Champagne Poppy. Now, my brain didn't have enough time to process specifically what exactly we were going to anticipate. There was actually there was a track list. I lie. Drake actually did put the track list on Instagram. I don't know if he put it on Twitter. I didn't actually see that. So I kind of just walked into midnight, Friday at midnight, kind of like, okay, all right, cool. But I was hype because it's Drake, man. It's like no matter what Drake puts out, it's gonna be good regardless. He's gonna be good regardless, and I'll get to that in a minute. So this is how it went for me, right? Game 6 of the NBA Finals, which saw the Warriors become the NBA champions once again. I think everything ended at like 11:30, so I had like 30 minutes to process the loss of the Celtics because I wanted the Celtics to win and take it to Game 7 because I wanted more basketball, obviously, but yeah, it is what it is. So I was at work at the time, mind you, so I had 30 minutes to process that and then get ready for this album. So midnight hits, but I waited till 12:02. Why? I don't know, just give myself a little bit more anticipation here. So it's released. It's out. 14-track album. Okay. Probably a little less to Drake's standard. Like Drake usually like a 17, 18 song kind of guy. So for him to have 14 is kind of interesting. The intro was only 35 seconds long. So that's also interesting because usually Drake has a intro song. Like if you really think about it, you have Fireworks off his first album, Over My Dead Body on Take Care, Tuscan Leather on Nothing Was the Same. You had Keep the Family Close and Views. You had Survival and Scorpion. And of course you had Champagne Poetry and Certified Lover Boy. So for how Honestly Nevermind, his studio album, mind you, to have no intro song is actually exceptionally perplexing and interesting. But I let it be. I was like, all right, you know what? No sweat. Just get into the album. Cool. The first song plays. I don't know what I'm listening to. I really have no clue what I'm listening to. Quite frankly, it sounds like real techno-ish, and I'm like, this is not my type. This ain't my type of album, man. Like, this is my type of music. What's going on? But then I was still had high hopes because I'm like, this is only the first song. It's only the first song of the album. It's can't get any worse than this. It's not that it got worse from there. It was like most of the songs were like the same, but it was a whole different genre of music of what you were hearing. Like you were hearing Drake's voice. Drake had his singing voice. I think there was a couple songs where Drake had his rapping voice. So right then and there, it's like, okay, this is Drake, just not on the beats that we're accustomed to. Like You know, Drake likes to do them slow beats, those types of beats where you can just go in the car and drive, and this is what you listen to get your mental right, or, you know, you can get on some turn up beat. You know, like, you know how Drake is with his beats. You know what I'm saying? No, wasn't that. Quite frankly, what you were hearing in the first 11 songs, I don't know why Alexa was, I don't know why she was waking up. But what you were hearing in the first 11 songs was literally something you never really heard from Drake. And I was literally sitting here getting mad. I was getting mad. I was getting angry. I was frustrated. I went to Instagram. I went to Snapchat. I went to Facebook. Posted the same exact thing. Well, not Facebook, but Instagram and Snapchat. I posted the same thing. Like, this is trash. Like, this is trash. Like, this ain't it, bro. What is this album, bro? This ain't it. This ain't it at all. Nah, bro. Then the last two songs hit. Liability, which is probably one of my favorite songs. Actually, that is my favorite song probably on the album, because that gave me that old Drake feel, that I'm hurt Drake. You know what I'm saying? You know, when Drake hurt, he be talking. I mean, honestly, the bars on that song weren't really, you know, the lines in that song weren't really, they weren't hitting like they usually do, you know. Not like how Brand New, when you first heard Brand New, how that hit. You know what I'm saying? The melody was right, the sound was right, everything was just right for that song, and that's why it's probably my favorite Drake R&B song. So Liability was in that old Drake feel, but it just didn't sound like that old Drake. But it didn't sound like the old Drake, but it sounded like the old Drake. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I get the point of it, but it's not what, like, I don't feel the hurt in the song. Like, he sounds hurt, but he doesn't sound defeated. You know what I'm saying? That's how Drake is sometimes. Like, when Drake is sad, Drake sounds defeated. You know what I'm saying? But I like Liability regardless. That was like, okay. And of course, Jimmy Cooks with him and 21 Savage. Of course, that was gonna probably be the best song on the album, and it kind of is. So you know, that was what it is. That was what it was. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of the album, I don't know, man. It can't be a hit or miss. It pretty much probably is a hit and a miss for a lot of people. For me too. I ain't gonna lie to you, for me too. So I said to myself, nah, this ain't it, bro. I was so mad I wanted to make a video. And here I am making the video, but I'm not as mad as I was because I gave myself another day. I said to myself, you know what? When I get off work, I'm going to listen to this album again in its entirety. I was going to download the song. I was going to download the whole album on my iPod. Listen to that joint as I go home. Right? Boom. I was going to do that. Luckily for me, my coworker was playing the album at work. So I had the distinction of listening to it again. Not on my own time, which probably be better, but regardless, I was hearing it again. So that's kind of the purpose of it. I just wanted to hear it again. And I went up to him. I was like, what you think about this album? He was like, this ain't it either. Like, he was pretty much saying what I was saying. This ain't it either. I only like maybe a couple songs off this. I was like, yeah, me too. See, now he uttered my sentiments. So I was like, okay, he gets what I'm saying. However, his continuing points were this. This don't sound like, you know, Drake. This don't sound like that. It don't sound like he made this album for us. It sounds like he made this album for, like, people in, like, the techno clubs and people on the yachts or a different country or whatever the case is. This album wasn't for us. It sounded like this album was for them. And when I tell you, when he said that, it slapped me in the face like that. Like real quick, didn't see it coming. I was like, you know what? You may be right. You wholeheartedly may be correct. Because I do believe that. I really now believe that. I believe this album wasn't for us. I think what Drake did was he expanded his audience. Now, if you think of Drake, I mean, who the hell don't know who Drake is? And he like this man has been running the game since 2010, bro. So obviously, how do you not know who Drake is at this point in 2022? How do you not know who Drake is at this point? But then again, if you think about it, there's a lot of people in different countries that don't know who Drake is. So Drake wanted to tap into those specific people in those countries. And maybe a couple people on the, with the rich, with the yachts, and the all white parties, you know what I'm saying? The ones that don't really listen to Drake. He made this album to expand his audience. And you know what? When you really think about it like that, I get it. Because me, a person that's listened to every single Drake album, I kind of see the point. Because every Drake album is pretty much the same, right? You will hear rap. You will hear R&B. You will hear a good feature, That's pretty much what Drake does. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much has this format down. You know what I'm saying? There may be a song in there that speaks to you. There's I'm talking my ish Drake. There's quotable Drake. Drake that'll just say a quotable line and you'll just take it and run with it. There's hurt Drake. There's defeated Drake. Then there's uplifting Drake. There's a lot of Drakes out there. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much the format of Drake. You know what I'm saying? With what he did here, he's pretty much showing us that, I'm rich and I want to talk to rich people. I want to make rich people music. I respect it. I can't be mad at it. Like, when you think about it like that, can't be mad at it. He wants to expand his fan base and talk to the rich people. Kind of like how Jay-Z is doing these days. Every time Jay-Z's on a song, he's pretty much talking that rich talk. If we're being honest, Jay-Z really goes on a feature or a song and just literally just talks to us like, we're poor, but I want to make you rich. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, I get it. I wholeheartedly get it. I get it, Drake. I get it. 2 things, though. Maybe 3. I remember going on Facebook and somebody posted about this. They said the same thing. They said, I get it, Drake. This album wasn't made for us, things like that. Well, one thing that she said that I really didn't get was she sat there and said he made this album for his son to listen to. Well, if you really listen to the album, he's still pretty much still Drake on this album. It's just that it's just a whole different sound. But it's still Drake. And if we're talking like that, I wouldn't let my son listen to this album. I'm sorry, because that's not his best work. I would never allow my son to listen to something that's not my best. Like, if I was as good as Drake is, or how phenomenally great Drake is, I would not let my son not listen to my best work. I was like, son, if you want to know who I am, listen to Take Care. Listen to the one album that got me a Grammy. Do that. Don't give him this. No, don't give him this. Like, that right there, I didn't agree with. Like, I don't believe this album was for his son. That's kind of just like, whew. You know what I'm saying? That was a let me throw this at you and let me see what you think. And then when you get it, you just don't understand it. So right then and there, I'm like, I don't know about that, cuz. I don't know about that, cuz. Point number two. Maybe not a point, but opinion number two. I don't think this should have been an album. I don't believe this should be considered an album, honestly. I think this should legit just be considered a project. Because the thing is, right, when they said seventh studio album, or when he wrote seventh studio album, I had to really think about what exactly were his albums. So it's Thank Me Later, it's Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, it's Views, it's Scorpion, and it's Certified Lover Boy, right? Those are his 6 albums prior to this. More Life and If You're Reading This, It's Too Late are not considered albums. Those are considered projects. More Life I'd probably consider a project because that's more like a playlist for any type of feel that you want. You know what I'm saying? If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, that's pretty much a mixtape in itself. So I get that. But I think, honestly, Nevermind should not be considered his 7th album. That should not be considered an album. That should just legit be considered like a side project. Like how Dark Lemo Tapes was, or like the Care Package was. Like, make it like that. Because the Care Package was pretty much songs that he made prior, but it's just all into one thing now. You know what I'm saying? Dark Lemo Tapes is pretty much the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. He tried to put the whole thing in where it's like he's tapping into a completely different audience. But if that's the case, I feel you should have made that. I feel like that shouldn't be an album. I feel like that should just legit just be a side project. Like, put that in with the More Life and If You Read This, It's Too Late. Put it in that category. That should not be considered an album. I'm sorry. Like, granted, it'd probably be. I haven't even looked at where it debuted at, but usually when it's Drake, it's like top 10, regardless, because of how many people are listening to it. A lot of people had 7, like the people that listened to it at midnight had 7 hours to listen to it. 7 hours prior to this to know when to listen to it at midnight. Then they give it a day, and more people that didn't have the opportunity to listen to it at midnight are listening to it. And that's just how that man's just going to get where he's going to be. But I don't think it should be an album. It should not be an album. No, he should not have made this an album. Did I have a third point? I said 3 points. I said maybe 3 points. I don't know if I still have that point. No, I don't got that point. So that's pretty much just what that is, man. Like, listen, they say Kendrick Lamar is the best rapper alive right now. At this point in time, the best artist alive right now is Drake. Because Drake is untouchable, bro. Drake can put out bullshit. It still will be in the top 20. Maybe top 10, depending on what it is. Like, I remember my man's, right? He said he listened to Nice for What, right? Nice. Remember Nice for What? He said he listened to that song, and he said the lyrics were trash. Like, the lyrics, his bars were trash. But if we're being honest, if you really listen to that song, you listen to that song at the first take, bro, that's a party song, bro. Like, that's a song you play in the clubs or in a party, you know what I'm saying? That's not something you just sit there and listen to like, man, this man's spitting facts. No. That is where you just throw it in a party, club, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe you sit there and just ponder on what he's saying. I don't think he got quotables in that song. Like, you know when Drake has quotables, bro, you could tell what song it is based on how it sounds. That song particularly is a club song. You don't sit there and listen to the lyric. Like, literally, if you listen to Party, like, if you listen to Party Up in Here by DMX, Are you really listening to it based on the lyrics that he's saying? No. No. You listening to it because that song gets you hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the sound. It's not the lyrics. Like, people gotta get that off. Get off that. But listen, Drake is untouchable, man. Regardless of how you look at it, Drake is untouchable. This man could put out BS. Like More Life, I remember when that came out, not many people really liked that. I didn't really like the project. I particularly didn't really like the project either, even though he started off tremendously with Free Smoke. When Free Smoke started playing, that's when everybody like, ooh, yeah, I couldn't get a bill paid. You couldn't buy the real thing. Like, woo, like, more life, more everything. Like, yeah, like, yo, when he was getting to that, like, yep, okay. And the beat was fire, too. Man, listen. Free Smoke definitely did what it was supposed to do. It started off perfectly, but then the album started getting mid, but then a couple songs were like, okay, then it was like that. It's an up and down type of thing. With honestly Nevermind, I feel like that should not be an album because it sounds more like a project than anything. It just sounds like something he was just exploring. But with Drake's albums, Drake don't really explore in his albums. He explores more in his projects. That's probably why I feel like it shouldn't be an album, because Drake explores more in his projects. He doesn't explore that much. He doesn't explore in his albums. Like, think about it. More Life. I'll come back to More Life. More Life. He was going more into like his the little bit of reggae sounds or whatever the case, like more island sounds like that. He explored that. That was the project. Dark Lemo tapes. He started exploring drill music. Like that, like couple songs on that shit was drill music. He had a Fabio Foreign on one of them songs. And of course, War was a drill song, bro. He did a whole drill. He had a whole drill flow. But he explored that, and Dark Lemo Tapes is a project. Drake went damn near techno, and honestly, Nevermind. He explored it, but that's considered an album. That's what's weird about it. Like, I would not, nah, bro. And because of the fact that he was exploring this is the worst album Drake's ever put out. It's the worst. Honestly. Like, I think before then, Scorpion was his worst album. It had to be Scorpion was his worst album, because his best albums Take Care. I think number 2 would be Nothing Was the Same. I think number 2 is Nothing Was the Same is his second best album. His third would be, I think Views comes to that number 3. I think I like Views for number 3. Number 4 is probably Thank Me Later. And then number 5 would be Certified Lover Boy. You know what I'm saying? So, personally, I don't know. For this to be an album, nah, it didn't hit. But I know what Drake was doing. I full-blown understand what Drake was doing. I get it. I wholeheartedly get it. Excuse me. I don't believe he was doing it for his son. Like, as one of my friends on Facebook said, that's wild. That's a wild take. I don't think that was for his son. No. I think that was just for a whole different genre of fans that he was trying to tap into. So you know what? He probably accomplished it, because it is Drake, and Drake always accomplishes his missions. Wholeheartedly, if you think about it, he could put BS out, but he had something in his mind, and he put it to pen and paper, and boom, here he is. So it is what it is, man. Like, shout out to Drake. Drake, you are untouchable. You've been untouchable for the last 6 to 7 years. So, hey, keep doing what you do, bro. I'm here for all of it, man. You already know what it is, man. So until next time, it's been Rose, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love, support, as always. Money in the Bank is next week. Prediction video will be out next week. Actually, AEW Forbidden Door is this Sunday. I'm gonna try to watch it. This is about all I can say. So it is what it is, man. So until next time, peace, love, 100. Here.